So this is the Walmart ad where I bought my bags and oxygen absorbers, and I just love this ad. I mean, it's hysterical. So if you take a look here, it says extra thick 14.8 mil. Now that is really, really thick. That is so thick you could probably barely even work with the bag. But if you scroll down to the details, let's take a look here. It says at 14.8 mil total thickness, it's 7.4 mil each side. Now, to say a bag is 14.8 mil, that's like telling everyone that my house is built out of 2x12s. And I can explain it's built out of 2x12s. You know, we're talking about the exterior walls. My house is built out of 2x12s. Because each side is made out of 2x6s, therefore my house must be built out of 2x12s. I tell you, my house would probably take any kind of natural disaster if it was truly made out of 2x12s. So using this kind of phrase in here is just absurd and borders on false advertising, and I can't believe that the people at Walmart didn't catch this. And so anyway, don't fall for this. It's not true, and having Walmart display an ad like this is kind of fishy. But anyway, so this is what I ordered, and this is what I got. Here's my next acquisition, and if anyone recognizes the little blue asterisk, yes, this is Walmart. And Walmart does have storage bags and oxygen absorbers. So I went ahead and made an order, and it's not what I thought it would be. The ad, which I'll show you later, that Walmart has, you know, it's in a nice little package, and it has, you know, all this stuff, but what I end up getting is like this envelope like that. So I'm supposed to get, I think it's 30 bags, 30 oxygen absorbers, 30 labels, and a few other things. So we're going to see exactly what's in this, and it looks like it's just bound with a piece of 2-inch tape, so I'm kind of wondering if this is from a package that got damaged or something, or returned, and they're sending it out to me half-cocked. So what I'm getting is not what was advertised as far as packaging is concerned. Okay, so try to get my way out of here. Okay, so here's my oxygen absorbers, and it looks like there's maybe 10 in a package. Okay, here's my labels, and here's my bags. And just, boy, this feels thin. But anyway, we'll find out. So this is my stuff from Walmart, and we're going to put it through the paces. And we're actually going to put it through more paces than I've ever done a review in the past, because I got all kinds of testing devices now for the Mylar bags. We have the good old same old test for the oxygen absorbers. So here we go. The package I received looks nothing like the package that they show here in the website. Mine was just kind of rolled up into a ball and everything stuffed into it. So I really don't know if this is really truly the brand that they say is HomeSense. And I have a feeling that this HomeSense is probably part of the same company that I dealt with a long time ago on Amazon that was full of fraud. And so we're going to really take a close look at this. and see what this thing is really all about. This is my Walmart oxygen absorber. Now, according to what is said in the ad, these are 500 cc absorbers. So going back to the ad, it then says the oxygen absorbers are 500 cc's. Well, as soon as I saw that, I was a little bit suspicious. And so I'm going to request the SDS, formerly MSDS, from Walmart and see what they end up giving me. Let's go drop down here. And they're saying I'm going to get 30 of the 500 cc oxygen absorbers. And that kind of, it's such an industry standard to get 300 cc oxygen absorbers with a 1 gallon bag that I'm just a little bit suspicious from the get-go. But hey, I'll give them a try and see what happens. Now, I'm just a little bit concerned because these are actually kind of tiny, but hey, we'll have to see what's inside. But we'll give it every opportunity to succeed. And this is our control. And it's 5 o'clock p.m. So this is the line right here is 195 cc's, which is 21%. Actually, it's 20.9%. So this is the amount of oxygen that's going to be in this jar. And so we expect the water as it is absorbed by the oxygen absorber to come in and fill the void left by the oxygen. So this is probably going to take 2, 3, 4 days, and we'll go ahead and keep track on how often we dump this out. This is our first dump after 10 hours. This is dump number 2. And still no water in the control. This is dump number 3 at 66 hours into our experiment. It's been 90 hours and this thing is pretty much done. So I'm going to come in here and mark the progression of this very last dump, and we'll measure this. The control over here has just a light film of water inside, maybe 2 or 3 cc's. So this really hasn't changed much at all. So we're going to go ahead and dump what's in here. And this was my mark right here when we ended it. So I'll go ahead and calculate this amount and we'll add it up. This amount right here is 500 cc's. So this oxygen absorber is rated to absorb this amount of fluid. After 90 hours, what we were able to accomplish was 599 cc's, which is this amount. We are ready to put the Walmart bag, which is HomeSense, through the paces and the testing. So this is the jig that we use for the puncture test, and I have the template for the tensile test. And so we're going to go ahead and make up our samples, and we'll test it and see how it does. This is the Walmart bag, and it just feels funny. It doesn't feel like it's supposed to. So we're going to lay this retaining ring down on the bag, and we're going to go ahead and sketch it and cut it out. So this is what holds the sample piece, and the probe comes down and pierces this plastic. And this is our little testing strip for the tensile test. So we'll go ahead and mount this into the equipment, and we're going to go ahead and test it and see how it turns out. And we're also going to mark on here that this is Walmart HomeSense. Walmart. Walmart. This bag blew out the side where the sill was. We are looking at what Walmart has to offer in the way of Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers. And they sell online a kit by the company's name of HomeSense. And they sell Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, and some labels. Well, we have the absorbers right here, and we're going to do a deep dive into these. And the first thing I've noticed is that this little packet of absorbers from Walmart does not have the little pink eye. So we would not know just from looking at these if these have been spent. I mean, they're vacuum packed, so they're kind of hard. So that's the first thing that I don't like. Well, actually, there's a lot of things that I don't like, but with oxygen absorbers, they're not marked. They just say deoxidizer, do not eat. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to take one out. And we're going to go ahead and weigh it, and it's coming up at 5 grams. So this oxygen absorber weighs 5 grams, and it came out of a package by a company called HomeSense and is distributed by Walmart. These oxygen absorbers came in a package by HomeSense. So what we're going to do, we're going to scroll down all the way down here to the bottom of the page, and right down here it says safety data sheet. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to put down oxygen absorber. And we'll see what they come up with. Oh, and we got a hit. So I followed the link, and I was very surprised that Walmart actually has a safety data sheet for oxygen absorbent packages. So I'm taking a look at this, and it has supplier information right here, but the thing it doesn't say is what brand it is. And someone as big as Walmart could have several brands of oxygen absorbers. So I'm scrolling down here, looking at each individual section, and this section is, I believe, section number 1. And this kind of concerns me right here, because they're displaying some pretty intense GHS warning labels here. They're showing this one right here, which is basically means that, you know, it says basically beware, there's something in here that is of concern. And then they show this thing that shows like this exploding bomb inside a human chest. And that basically has to deal with respiratory irritation issues. And now they're also showing this run right here that could be, well, I don't want to say this is acid, but if the packet contents of this could get on your hands, it could have a burning sensation. And you can see right here with the skin and inhalation right there. Well, the first thing when I see these three labels, I've never seen these labels before on an oxygen absorber. It makes me wonder what's inside this oxygen absorber. So let's scroll on down here to section number 3, which shows the ingredients. And the first thing they do, they say supplier trade secrets. Now, I've worked with oxygen absorbers long enough to know that the primary ingredient of an oxygen absorber is powdered iron. And I can't see how powdered iron is going to be a trade secret. And then you also basically have carbon or charcoal, and then you have various different types of salts. And this is pretty well known around the world, but these people are just saying that this is a trade secret. Well, they come over here that whatever this number, this first line is 70 to 80%. I'm just guessing that's probably powdered iron. And then they have 10% here, 10% here, and 10% here of other secondary ingredients. But they're not saying what it is. And if I jump back up here to the warning labels, the first thing it tells me is, do I want a packet with trade secrets and an oxygen absorber sitting next to my food that has some pretty intense warning labels? So I'm going to go ahead and delve into this and take a look to see what's inside this packet. But for the sake that they're not telling me what's inside here, makes me feel just a little bit uncomfortable about using these oxygen absorbers. And we all know that oxygen absorbers do not have country of origin, they don't have ingredients, they don't have what the rated capacity is, and this is one of my really bones of contentions I have with oxygen absorbers. So with this said, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but we're going to go ahead and open up an absorber and see what's inside. Another thing that I'm a little bit concerned with is down here under other information. It has this listed, let's see, 5 times that 21% of the mixture consists of ingredients of unknown acuity oral toxicity, or unknown acute dermal toxicity, unknown acute inhalation toxicity in the form of a gas. Now that could be carbon monoxide, which we know is a byproduct of almost all oxygen absorbers. And also unknown acute inhalation toxicity vapor, that could also be carbon monoxide, and unknown acute inhalation toxicity in a dust or a mist. So I don't know who this company is, but they are really laying on some heavy stuff here. So I noticed on page number 1, there was this phone number right here that went to a firm in New York, and I called them, and the very nice guy there was very understanding about what I was trying to seek, that I wanted to find out what was in this oxygen absorber, and he was just kind of like a clearinghouse. So he could just kind of bring up the SDS sheet along with me and go through it, but there's really nothing that he could do to help me. Now, if your child or your dog did ingest this particular oxygen absorber, there is this number right here, which is an emergency contact number, which is kind of almost like a poison control number. A doctor or poison control could probably call this number right here, and they could probably talk to the individuals. And even though these ingredients are a trade secret, there's a good chance that the people on the other end would probably offer an antidote or some additional information that they're not going to give to the common folk like me and you. So with this said, I'm going to take a look at these oxygen absorbers. I'm comfortable with using oxygen absorbers, but I'm just wondering what's in these oxygen absorbers. I just want to make sure that some firm over in China or something else is not putting some kind of byproducts in their oxygen absorbers to get rid of them. China does not have an EPA, and so they can do and put things and say things that people and firms here in the United States really can't do. So anyway, that's my lecture for the day, and we're going to go onwards to look at this product. thing I don't like about this oxygen absorber is the size. Now this is supposed to be rated at 500 cc's. My concern is if you take a look at these other oxygen absorbers, if you take a look at the size of these compared to this, that this is quite a bit smaller. These are 300 cc's. This is supposed to be 500 cc's. So that is a bit of an issue I have with this one. But hey, maybe it's true and maybe it's good. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and we're going to see what's inside. Now I did get the MSDS from Walmart, but under section 3 of the MSDS it said that all the ingredients were proprietary and were not listed. Okay, so we have 4 grams of ingredients in here. We're going to mix this around and pull out the iron. So on the scale here we have less than 1 gram of secondary ingredients. So we're going to do this one more time and see what we can come up with. So we're coming up with 3 grams of iron. In a perfect world, each gram of iron has the ability to absorb 300 cc's of oxygen. 3 grams of iron times 3 is going to be 900. So this has the potential of pulling up 900 cc's as long as this powdered iron is not adulterated or contaminated. That's what it should be. So it still has potential of absorbing 500 cc's. Now with that being said, then we're going to take a look at the secondary ingredients, and this should come out to be 1 gram, which it is. And just from looking at it, I can see some white specks, which is most likely the salts, and the black is probably carbon or charcoal. So that's what we have. So we have 1 gram secondary ingredients. We have 3 grams of iron powder, and the package all brings us back to 5 grams. So that's what we have inside each package. This is the bag from Walmart or from HomeSense. Pretty typical. Has a zip across the top, which is nice, with the pull tabs here, and it has a gusseted bottom. Not too bad. The first thing I'd noticed when I picked this up, it felt really lightweight and really thin, and according to the online ad that Walmart has, they say that this is a 14.8 Mylar bag. Well, like I said about building my house out of 2x12s, they later said down farther that this is actually 7.4, but this does not feel like 7.4. So we're going to go ahead and test the thickness of this and see what it really is. Okay, so we have our bag open, and I have my little test kit here with my measuring device. So we are going to see what this really is. Okay, so we measured this a total of 36 times, and the average thickness on this bag is 3.9 mil, and that's being advertised as a 7.4 mil. Now that poses a big problem with me. Now, like I said, the package that they advertise on the Walmart website is a nice package with all the, home sense and all the other graphics on that. But when I got this, it was just rolled up with the absorber stuffed in the middle. So two things is happening here. I ordered the 14.8 mil package from HomeSense, and Walmart sent me brand X, or HomeSense doesn't know what they're doing. So this is quite a mystery. I'm going to contact Walmart and complain, let them know what I found, because I wanted to, they're advertising a 7.4 mil bag, and this is this is basically a 4 mil bag when they're advertising a 7.4. So this is not what I requested. So very disappointed in Walmart. These are the oxygen absorber ratings, and we have Walmart entering right here. Now their absorbers, which was from HomeSense, were rated for 500 cc's, and they only came out to 599. So this kind of shows you along this axis. Anyone in blue is a rating other than 300. So we have Wallabies down here that was rated at 400. They only produced 243. Amazon Full Seal was rated at 500. They only produced 241. Distribution Services, which is part of the LDS Church, is the leader at 1,358. And then, of course, we have Discount Mylar, which has brand is Oxy-Free 1106. All these other brands are from China or overseas manufacturing. So this will give you an idea of perhaps who has the best oxygen absorber, and that's only for the here and now. If any of these companies switches to a different company, well, then these would no longer be valid. These are the results of the puncture test. All the units are in grams of pressure. Walmart came in towards the bottom at 4 mil. Now this was originally advertised it's like 7.4, but when I measured it, it was a 4 mil bag at 2,954. All the way up here at the top, leading the pack. And now this is not a bag, but this is genuine Mylar film that's 2 mil. So at genuine Mylar at 2 mil is still the strongest as far as resistance at 6,442 grams. Down here on the bottom, and this is not a bad thing, is Vacuum Sealers Unlimited, but you got to remember this is a 5 mil bag. So it's not as thick as the other ones above. But if you kind of follow this axis up, you can see where everyone kind of falls into line among all the vendors. Distribution Services was the highest among the retail vendors at 7 mil at 6,204 grams. So Walmart's down here towards the bottom. So this might be helpful for individuals who've had problems with packaging food or items with sharp corners. And this graph is basically the burst and tensile test. We have the burst going up on this side line, and this is measured in PSI, and we have the tensile test running across here, and this is measured in pounds. Now, Walmart, our newest vendor, basically ranked low in everything. So they're on the bottom with tensile and burst. Up here is kind of two different companies kind of share the same area just by a little bit, and that's Distribution Services and Discount Mylar, and everyone else in the pack is here in the middle. So I hope this information is helpful for you in deciding which Mylar bag to choose. And the whole purpose of this, not only to give you an education on bags, but perhaps to help these vendors take a look at the product they have and make their product better, or maybe get another source of product that might be a little bit better than what they currently have. So there's really two purposes there. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was educational for you. I enjoy making these, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Send me your comments, give me a like, and subscribe. And as always, go forth and freeze dry the world.